Доброго времени суток. Я так долго ждала, чтобы поиграть наконец-то. То соседи мешали, то потом интернет был плохой. Будем сегодня играть, проходить сюжет. Очень-очень хотелось пройти его. Просто так, без камеры. Но я ждала, я специально терпела, чтобы вместе мы прошли его. Даже специально карту не открывала, терпела.
We've been to so many places lately. What do you say we take a day off from adventuring and just find somewhere nice to relax?
Сейчас отдохнем.
What am I thinking? Where are some nice places we could go? Oh, why don't we take Rabbit for a visit outside?
Ты как хочешь, Пайман, но мы сегодня путешествуем.
She's always the one popping up out of nowhere and scaring us half to death. So let's surprise her this time.
Испугаем птицу. Давайте испугаем. Надеюсь, я не разобьюсь.
Do you still remember the first time we came here? We even brought offerings and everything. When we told her that Rex Lapis had been assassinated, she immediately threatened to. Well, we probably don't need to bring any offerings now that we've gotten to know her pretty well, right? Did something catch your eye?
Кого?
Pretty lady. She also here to visit Laboratory?
Кто бы мог подумать, что мы увидим самого хранителя облаков в обличии человека. Я надеюсь, и других тоже сделают в обличии людей. Думаю, они будут тоже невероятно красивы.
Yeah, you're right. All it takes is one look and you can tell she's someone special. As expected of that bird lady, really. She must have a whole bunch of Adepti friends from all over the country.
Какая она красотка.
Okay, but if we're both friends of Cloud Retainer, then we're basically friends by association, right? Helping you make more connections is a part of Paimon's job as your reliable guide.
Хочу быть общительной, как Пайман. Хотя, может быть, это и плохо.
You two... What is this tomfoolery? Has the shift in form so clouded your eyes that you no longer recognize one anymore?
Ну, как бы да, извините, ты сама на себя не похожа.
You're the illuminated bird?
Oh, donning human form is scarcely any test of one's abilities.
So, you're indulging now?
Well, one has made plans to pay a visit to some disciples at Liyue Harp.
You? Worrying about keeping a low profile? You're the one who likes to pop up out of nowhere. Hey, didn't we agree not to bring that up unless she asked?
Oh? So you have taken care to follow the...
Well, this is all Paimon's got. You don't mind, right?
One has never found oneself lacking in basic comforts. On the contrary, it is the gesture that one values above all else. So, One
Ой, у
plan
них
to
же
extend
тоже
the
вроде
invitation
костюмы
even if you
красивые
cannot
вышли.
raise the matter yourself. However, one would first inquire as to the reason.
Yeah, we just found ourselves missing you and wanted to see how you were doing. We're hoping you'd tell us what.
That's if there are no urgent matters at hand, then let us make haste for Liyue Harbor. Ganyu.
That's great. Then let's all go to.
1000 лунных миль.
Ganyu has been quite busy with work as
Так,
well.
подождите, бабушка. Хочу посмотреть. А, надо было магазин открыть. Кстати, можем помолиться? Можем помолиться. И еще раз можем. Будем на бабушку молиться. Так. Что я хотела? А, я хотела в магазин зайти, точно. Такая красота. Какие красивые наряды. Но у меня нету ни ее. Забыл, как их зовут. Тут написано, как бы, да, Шиньхэ и Ганьюй. Угу. Так что в любом случае мне нет нужды даже копить на эти наряды. А жалко. Так, Льюэ, да? Не люблю телепортироваться именно туда. Не знаю почему, просто вот нелюбимая точка для заданий. Не знаю, как это называется, главная арена или что у них там, около главных зданий.
They think one was so easily mollified. One shall investigate everything with one's own eyes and decide for oneself if their living conditions are
Обманывают, что
satisfactory.
живут с людьми или что? Или в смысле обманывают, что у них все хорошо? Ох уж это гиперопека. А, я, наверное, сейчас разбилась. Не надо было так прыгать.
We're almost at Way Pavilion. Hey, do you think Ganyu will be shocked? Because we have no idea if Shenhe and Ganyu have ever seen her in this form before. Wait, where did she go? Why aren't you standing there, Cloud Retainer?
Quietly, one shall stay here. You two can go and meet with her.
But why? Isn't it better if we all go?
If one were to proudly proclaim one's presence, Ganyu would surely profess herself otherwise
Ну да,
unoccupied
это
and drop
похоже на
everything
нее,
to
бросить
attend to
все
one's
ради
visit.
любимого учителя.
One does not wish to trouble her. Conversing vicariously via you two shall suffice.
Fair enough. Makes sense. All right.
Cloud Retainer?
А ой, все спалили. Еще бы она не узнала.
Someone you know, Miss Ganyu?
She is indeed. I'm sorry, Huixin, but could we delay?
Oh, not to worry, Miss Ganyu.
Thank you. Wait.
План не удался.
It's been a while, Ganyu.
Greetings. What brings you here today? And Cloud Retainer too.
It's been. You are quite mistaken. One is not acquainted with this Cloud Retainer from.
Seems she's not buying it.
That was but a simple test. One did not
But recognizing you is, my responsibility as your
An apt observation.
Так, минутку. Только сейчас заметила, что у меня моделька все время с открытым ртом. Ну, думаю, нормально. Лучше уже не будет, потому что камера распознает только один цвет, поэтому моя моделька часто открывает рот. Она просто не понимает, у меня закрыты губы или открыты. Я себе куплю нормальную камеру, и все будет окей. Все будет хорошо.
One was simply passing by while attending to some.
Wait, I'm not aware of any important. Oh. Collaborator's right. We've still got something.
Oh, is that so?
One simply desired to see you and had no intention of interrupting your work.
I understand.
While one acknowledges the amount of work that
Быстро
you have to deal
выкрутились.
with every day, one must also remind. So makes one nostalgic to see you as you are now.
Cloud Retainer!
If you insist. Are running short on time regardless. So what?
Wow, you've been to so many new places since the last time we spoke. If you ever need anything, also, forgive me for my presumptuousness, Cloud Retainer.
A human name? Huh. You raise a valid point. You presume to know the extent of one's illustrious achievements. One would hardly think such a thing.
Can you?
I assume that's a reference to the full record of an adeptus of years past would rise with the clouds and rest with the moon. They were enlightened and wise, free.
Oh, that sounds super cool. Feels like only the most powerful of adepti.
Actually, those lines were originally.
Huh? Wait, so you're really that powerful?
And what of it? Did you truly take one to be nothing more than a bird of bigger than average size?
Not exactly.
To be fair, Cloud Retainer rarely speaks of her past accomplishments. It is said that once, a long, long time ago, there was a severe drought in Liyue. Although I did not live through such tragedy, simply reading about it is enough to gain a visceral understanding of all the pain and desperation during that time. On top of the drought, a noxious gas also began to spread through the land. If not for Cloud Retainers, the books had this to say about what happened. Upon arrival, the Adeptus borrowed the wind to retain the clouds. Immediately,
That's incredible.
Mortal records add embellishments to dramatize past events. One did.
Even so, you stopped an entire drought. Paimon suddenly has a lot more respect for you.
How laughable. A name is but a simple label we carry with us on our journey through the
Ого.
world.
In that case, Paimon will continue to call you what.
Well, that is quite enough ancient history for now. Danyu, have you had word from Shenhe?
Да, мы ее давно не
One has
видели.
heard that she procured a job recently. Have you any thoughts? Moreover, does she find herself overly in
That is a.
there is no cause for concern, Cloud Retainer. Ка Мин restaurant's business has been booming recently. So, with Chef Mao being swamped with customers, and Shangling still often out.
I see. Most excellent indeed. One has had the pleasure of being introduced to that family. Now, it is almost time to part.
Huh? But didn't you?
Can that we?
You may return to your work on you. One shall see to this matter on one's own. There will be many an occasion.
Of course, Cloud Retainer. Please take care. Traveler?
See you around, guys. Paimon was pretty quick on the uptake there, don't you think?
Так,
As
куда
soon
мы
as you
идем?
mentioned important business.
Я думала, мы сразу. А, ну да, тут же ресторанчик вроде, да, он тут. Я уже не помню, так давно в Ливе не была.
No, in fact, it was not an excuse. One is indeed visiting Liyue Hut.
You get what I'm saying, right?
День добрый. Дела мои замечательно, потому что я наконец-то играю в Геншин. Я очень долго терпела, чтобы не сесть и не пройти сюжет без трансляции. Было сложно. А у вас как дела?
No. I think you should. Wait, she's coming.
What can I get for you today?
Greetings, miss. I was just wondering if you'd be...
What would you like to order?
Two servings of more meat to go.
Welcome. It's been a while.
Welcome us as guests and greet us as old friends in the same line. It's weird.
А почему плохо после тренировки? Устали? Зачем грустить? Не надо грустить. Нужно поднять себе настроение, налить вкусный чай или кофе, покушать. И все будет замечательно.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and this is?
This is...
Master?
One does not recall ever revealing this form to you before.
I've trained and lived with Master for more than 10 years. Is something the matter, Master?
Hardly. One simply learned of your employment from your letter and came to check on your well-being.
And check out the great food, too.
Indeed. It's almost lunchtime. My apologies.
Well, if it isn't the traveler in Paimon. Are you here for Shenhe?
Ой, да, плавание это тяжело. Блин, держись.
The lunch rush isn't in yet, Shenhe.
Помню, когда последний раз
I've got
занималась
things covered for
плаванием активно и много. Так выматывалась, так мышцы постоянно болели. Это ужасно. Но зато в хорошем форме себя можно держать.
Go ahead.
Прошу
Sit down and
прощения,
enjoy
язык
some time with your
заплетается.
friends.
Thank
Я
you,
уже давно
Chef
так
Mao.
много не говорила. Так. Сядьте за стол. Тут есть лестница. А, там есть лестница сзади, да, вроде? Точно, вот.
It is just as one expected. The owner of Wanmin Rest. Still, the work here entails dealing with quite a varied group of people. Has this been difficult for you, Shenhe?
Да, говорить мало это очень плохо. Даже забывается, как правильно говорить слова и как структурировать предложения. Я стараюсь, конечно, хотя бы какие-нибудь скороговорки в дни, когда я ни с кем не общаюсь, повторять, но это сильно не помогает. Нужен здоровый диалог хотя бы. Или монолог. Но когда разговариваешь сам с собой, идя по улице, это выглядит довольно странно, согласись.
It's been manageable so far. I sometimes run into strange people, but I have figured out a way to deal with them.
Seems like you've been making progress. So by dealing with them, you mean...
First, I try to talk sense into them. If that doesn't work, I threaten them.
Oh, a sensible plan. One is gladdened to see you integrate so well into human society.
And you, Master? How have you been?
Ну, это, конечно, неприятная ситуация, но ничего. Я надеюсь, что почаще сейчас стримы буду вести и буду больше разговаривать. Глядишь, так научусь снова говорить четко.
Simply marvelous. Though Mount Outsong has scarce...
I see. Just as expected of Master. I have missed Master quite a bit too. Even though work has been busy lately, I've...
Oh, you did.
Well, her mood shot up just like that.
By the way, Master, since you are in Liyue Harbor, have you had the chance to visit Ganyu?
Indeed. She is similarly preoccupied.
Donnie told us the story of Cloud Retainer's name. It was amazing. We never knew how powerful she was before.
I see. In that case, allow me to also share a story about Master's past.
О, история.
Oh?
Is that a problem, Master? I believe
No,
Давай,
not a
рассказывай,
problem.
рассказывай.
One was
Историю.
simply caught off guard. But no matter. Please, proceed. One is most curious to see how much of one's own conversational prowess you possess.
Обучите и меня искусству ведения светской беседы.
Master once participated in a race against Mooncarver. After Mooncarver lost, he insisted that Master's ability to fly gave her in response. Master agreed to forego flying in return for being able to use one of her devices in the race.
What kind of device was it?
It was a mechanical vehicle made out of iron. What was it called again? Oh, an electro-powered bicycle?
Oh, you refer to the bicyclical Thunder Flashmobile. One spent 49 days conceptualizing and crafting it. It need only be infused with it. Oh, it boggles the mind why Mooncarver ever supposed he might best me in a... Alas, the one flaw of my mechanism lay in its weakness against mountainous terrain. One was thwarted mere seconds from victory, when it was thrown off course and failed to make it across the...
Master, that was the end of that story.
Is that so? Huh. With you gone, one has seldom felt the desire to call upon those old fossils.
Have you been lonely, Master?
Lonely? At one's age, entire human generation is its most foreign sentiment. Mere mention of it is preposterous.
Mm-hmm.
Обнимашек? А как же котики или собачки? Совсем никого нету. Может быть, плюшевую игрушку обнять?
What is the reason for that look upon your face?
Я бы, конечно, обняла, но разве что дистанционно. Посылаю лучи обнимашек.
Nothing. It's just... Well, I might need a lot of respect for you after listening that... I was just a little bit confused. Which one?
To me, they are both, Master. One is...
One finds oneself exalted yet again with sweet words of praise. And this is not to say that your words paint an inaccurate picture. One has always lived by a single ideal. Eschew all action and abide by no rule. One does as one pleases and speaks as one pleases. Others may critique or praise as...
She got like, what, 2 sentences of flattery from her disciple? And it's as if her ego is about to burst.
Ого, даже так? Собаку заобнимал? Ничего себе. Кто бы мою собаку заобнимал? Он, наоборот, будет счастлив часами обниматься и играть. Ну, 18 лет — это еще не приговор. Можно и игрушки пообнимать. Спасибо. Я вас тоже крепко обняла.
Do you have any empty tables?
There, could we get another fish stew?
I'm hearing more guests come in. I should get back to work.
Alright, good luck with the lunchtime rush, huh?
Mm-hmm. I'll try my best.
еда. Вкусная еда, как хорошо.
One is fond of all kinds of delicacies and delights in a multitude of flavors. The dishes here demonstrate no shortage of culinary skill. Their unique flavor profile has left one more than satisfied.
О, новая
In
машина.
fact,
Everything's so tasty. A bit too hot at times, but still super tasty.
I'm sorry, miss, but our tables are.
Shall we try somewhere else, Granny? It smells so delightful. Can we really not eat here? My poor...
Well, you could always check with some of the other guests and see.
Okay, I'll ask around.
Садитесь к нам.
Excuse me. Do you mind letting us share a table with you?
Well, Emma doesn't mind. What about you guys?
Great. Thanks so much.
Granny?
Yeah. Is there something wrong with that?
No. Hyman's just a bit surprised. She looks so young.
Yeah. A lot of people compliment Granny on her youthful looks, but she's actually much older than she appears.
Узнала?
Granny, why don't you take a seat? Come on.
oh, have we met before?
No.
This a fated meeting then. Please, take a seat.
Подозрительно.
What would you like to eat, Granny? I can order for you.
I want raised earthworms. They always pop up out of the ground after a
Фу,
rainstorm.
червей.
Oh no, not this again.
Raised earthworms? Well, that sounds weird. Do people actually eat that?
Не уверена.
Right, that's what Paimon was thinking too. Need any help?
Oh? Oh, do you mean with Granny? Thanks, that's nice of you to offer. Granny has pretty bad dementia, so her memory's getting worse all the time. She's always saying things. Actually, her memory's been bad ever since I was little. It's gotten so bad lately, I even have to remind her I died young. Oh, but it's okay. Don't feel bad. Granny loves me a lot, and I love her a lot.
Wow. You're really tough for your age.
You're too kind.
And me? Oh, what about me?
You're tough too, Granny. Plus, you're really
Yes, and it's hardly as if I forget everything. I still remember the important things. I remember now. It was a dream. I had a dream where everything was dark. Someone...
Huh? That sounds super important.
It was just a dream, so I forgot. No. I believe I've had this dream.
Wait, so you have a reoccurring dream where someone's talking to you? That sounds spooky. Oh, does that mean you're possessed?
Пайман, как всегда.
Unlikely. Her eyes are clear and her breathing remains common.
Are you sure?
Who do you take me for? Is one not an adept? Am I not an
Моментально
expert?
спалилась просто.
You're right. Paimon almost forgot you're the expert. In that case,
Not anymore. Although, I have a sense that
A younger version of Granny?
this is just getting weirder and weirder. What is going on here?
As one said, fate must have brought us together.
Are you sure?
Paimon's Paimon.
Just Shen Yun is fine.
Thank you all so much for offering to help.
Well, we didn't get any payment for this.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. But Miss Sянь Yun, all we have to go off is that dream.
That is elementary. Since her dreams portray her younger self, then we shall retrace the step.
Sounds like a plan. So great.
Why, of course I do. The heavens
Мы пойдем на новую
above.
территорию?
I...
Или будем гулять по
When I
Леве
was
опять?
really little, my dad told me the Granny is true. And maybe the...
Martial arts heroine. Oh, Shinjo knows tons about language.
Are you leaving already?
I'll go order some food, Granny.
If there's nothing...
It seems we must part ways for now. The Traveler and Paimon are bound for the Feiyun Commerce Guild, while Yuendai and Shuyu shall remain here and partake of their lunch.
Вот и дело себе,
For
кстати,
myself,
нашли.
I have matters. Precisely. Let us meet at Yujing.
Да-да. Что нам расскажут, куда нам идти? О, Сянь Юнь.
It's you two.
Great, we found you. You went...
А, да, точно, у Сянь Юнь же тоже будет новый костюм.
That's not a whole lot of information to go off. I can't pinpoint her identity from your description alone. But...
Nameless heroine?
That's right. The novels often speak of a great drought from 50 years ago. As the people suffered, and all they knew was that she always acted alone. Later, though, she supposedly fell in after the drought ended. The heroine and the exorcist left the public eye and began the way this nameless
Звучит
heroine
очень
faded from
романтично.
fame into obscurity later in life is not too dissimilar from Miss Yuendai. I hope that
Thanks a lot, Shinjo. We knew it'd be worth talking to you.
it's nothing at all. Just something I came across while reading. I did do a bit of extra.
Well, Paimon still thinks that's super cool. Oh, wait, Shinjo, if you've read a...
Let me think. In the novels, the nameless heroine always appeared near. Perhaps the real-life heroine who inspired the character was also often seen near those three places. You're welcome. To be honest, I found some parts of the story confusing. It's rare for a chivalric hero to fade into obscurity during their lifetime. Even after retiring from the I've never understood why someone would go to such lengths to erase themselves from public memory.
We'll be sure to tell you if we manage to uncover...
That's a deal. Perhaps, behind the truth.
Paimon feels like we just learned so much from Shinjo. A drought, a nameless... Oh, right! There's a drought in this story, too!
Well, they used to be. But people have long since developed methods to prevent them. So while droughts do happen from time to time, they are rarely regarded as true disasters. The crops withered, the streams ran dry, and the monsters in the mountains became
Даже
rabid and
представить это
agitated.
страшно, чтобы в Льве такое
Countless
было.
caravans were attacked.
That sounds awful.
Yeah, and that's exactly why the nameless heroine was so beloved. She must have been someone of true integrity, to do so much for the
Приятного
people while
просмотра и
asking nothing in
приятного
return.
отдыха.
Still, as terrible as that drought was, it was nothing compared to the truly calamitous disasters that befell this land in ancient times. They say that back in those days, disasters were both more severe and more common. Do you have any other questions?
We're good for now. We're just going to head back and meet up with Miss Sянь Yun and the others again. Paimon hopes that Granny Yuendai will be able to remember more of her past. She used to be a great hero who saved... Anyway, we'll be off now. See you some other time, Shinjo. Thank you so much for your help.
It's no problem at all.
Так, а куда же мы пойдем? Угу. Ну, пошли.
I have recorded the tune that you requested. I hope it will be of help to you.
Какая красивая. Что это, инструмент? Или музыкальный инструмент?
Oh, thank you.
А, это пластинка, наверное, точно.
Straight word, but... Hey,
Было бы логично.
Oh, it's no serious matter. I was just reminiscing about the last time I saw you in this form. Time has wrought such change.
Time has little bearing on one's existence, nor has one keenly.
Oh, why so formal?
Well, the inquiry is as approximately how much more would one need to afford a.
It does not require as much as you may think.
Cloud Retainer, Madam P! What are you two talking about?
Nothing save for some trivial matters.
She too has a theory, but let's save it for when you and Miss Hyundai have joined up with us.
Do not be troubled, young lady. Here.
Thank you so much. What do you think, Shuyu? Does it match up with what you... According to the story, the nameless heroine eventually fell in love with an exorcist from Mount Tianhan. I don't have many memories of him. But there was this one time I found a box in her attic full of a bunch of weird sigils. I think so too. Granny might remember something when she's returned to a familiar place.
What marvelous tea. I can taste the... It's as if I was taking a stroll in a mountain.
Is that so? Then please drink as much as you like. There's no need to hurry. At our...
Thank you.
Okay, since we have the time... Sure thing. What would you like to know? I have a secret I want to tell you.
Что за секрет? Погодите, надо цветочки собрать.
What's wrong, Shuyu? Well, I've been kind of meaning to ask...
Ну, частично.
Well, you guys just seem super special. Must have been a slip of the tongue.
One is indeed an adeptus.
I knew it. Well, one time when I was a little kid, I had this super high fever. Granny wasn't around. I was feeling old. She put me on her back and flew me to her cool adeptus house and fed me some sort of magic potion. I really wanted to thank her, but I was too sleepy to stay awake. So I just kind of wanted to ask a pure white illuminated crate. The only... Have you ever met one that's pure white?
Never has one met an adeptus with such features.
What? That's weird. Well, even if it was just in my head, it doesn't matter that much. Leave it to us! Now that we know the 3 locations, we just need to visit. Let's go to Longxu Inn first! Okay, I'll go get Granny.
Так.
Longxu Inn. Longxu Inn.
Do you remember this place, Granny?
Yes. The fish here is very delicious. And if you look out into the distance, you can always spot a... I believe I used to have a room here.
I'll come with.
Мы пойдем в какую-то комнату.
I'm still having some trouble understanding what she's talking about, but...
О, Сяо.
I sensed a non-human presence and decided to come take a look. If you're here, then there's likely no trouble afoot. It's been a while, Cloud Retainer. I see you every... I have indeed.
Oh, wow! What was she like during the war? Oh, wait, last time I take a guess. Was it anything like this?
The glory of one's newest invention, the Bang Bang continuous fire mechanism. Hands up.
Пародии вышли на новый уровень.
An impressive imitation.
Those are all too well.
Even so, Cloud Retainer was not always as ostentatious as you describe. The Archon War reached its peak after Guizhong's death. The Cloud Retainer who fought beside me in those devastating battles was taciturn and solemn, only speaking when she had to activate her sigils.
Cloud Retainer who barely talks? I can't picture it. But what happened after...
Once one had bid farewell to the world of mortals, what use would one still have for
Ну
such
да,
a
звучит
shape?
логично.
When dwelling between mountain and forest, away from the struggles and trouble.
After the war, Cloud Retainer retired to Mount Outsong. Though I do believe there was an occasion some 30-odd years ago when she decided to don her human form.
One believes there is little need to relive bygone matters.
Granny, are you okay? Back then.
Perhaps this conversation should end here. Should you encounter any trouble, you need only call my name.
О, он все еще помнит об
I think Granny
обещании.
is finally beginning to remember her past.
Slowly now, calm your mind and recount what has been recalled.
A long time ago, I stayed here.
So what Shinjo said was true! You did fall ill! Was that why you went into hiding?
I don't remember. I'm very sorry, but I can't even remember that I was confined to my room in Wangshu Inn, where I spent many days unconscious. One day, I met a traveling merchant. Upon hearing of my illness, he told me that the pills were concocted using adepti blood and could be used to alleviate my symptoms.
Wait, but if your illness remained dormant for several decades, are you saying that it was all thanks to the pills that you managed to keep the symptoms in check?
I'm sorry, I don't.
Hey, you're not useless. You've done so much for me.
Oh, fret not, dear child. Granny was...
The recovery of a person's memories is a gradual process. Finding pieces of one's...
Next location. Next location. Oh, why don't we go to the area north? There isn't really a landmark there, so where should we start? Oh, Paimon's got it. Let's check out the house. After all, if she was there for any length of time, then she would have stayed somewhere, right? Oh, Paimon's really got it.
Пойдем сначала туда. Разбойник.
Whoa, why are there so many treasure orders here? I guess it's time to round up the bad guys.
The hunter becomes the hunt.
Do you remember anything about this place, Granny Yun?
Let me think. I feel... but I don't think I stayed here too long.
Got it. That's okay. There are still plenty of...
Wait a second. If I remember correctly, I believe I brought... yes, I brought some sweet snacks with me. Go on, take some. You need to eat a lot if you want to grow big and strong.
Oh, thank you. And Paimon will help herself.
Сомневаюсь, что если есть много сладкого, вырастешь большим.
Time to go.
Да ладно, я тебя уже пробежала. Почему ты только сейчас меня увидел? Тут что-то разрушенное.
I I don't remember this place at all. Still, I was thinking.
What?
I'm not sure. Maybe it's
I don't remember playing it that much. Are you sure about that, Granny?
Is that...
Not here then.
Еще одно осталось. Наверное, отсюда будет ближе бежать. Правда? Я рада, что со мной комфортно. Делаю все возможное.
Time to go.
Комфорт, спокойствие — это вообще самое главное в жизни. Но это уж точно ее дом, наверное.
This place.
Какой-то сарай прям.
Did you remember something, Granny?
I remember.
Ого.
It was a moonless night. I had been injured, so your grandpa was supporting me. We fled together with some being in the fog behind us in hot pursuit. I had exhausted my strength when the labor pains came on, so we took refuge in this house. I remember I alone am the source of this sin. Punish me as you wish.
Sin? Oath? Did you do something wrong?
I don't know. I don't remember. I only remember praying in the darkness with all my strength until the sun finally rose again and the
Что же она такого натворила?
house was filled with the sound of my baby's first cries. That baby was your father.
My dad?
He was my pride and joy, and so are you, Shuyu. But you're always going to be different from me.
I don't care what you might have done, Granny. You'll always be the person.
You're too sweet, Shuyu. I'm lucky to have you with me. If not, all right. Let's not stand around any longer. There's one place left.
One recalls correctly. The next
Еще одно
place should be
место?
Chinyu.
Так, вот сюда.
I may be a bit slow, but I'll do my best to keep up. I'm sorry to keep everyone waiting.
Climb on. I shall carry you to the top. Oh, such lightness of weight.
All those who grow old grow frail in the end, do they not? First, you lose your memory.
We're finally here. Does this place feel familiar to you, Granny, one day?
Let me see. How strange. Had I... When we were at Wangshu Inn and the abandoned house earlier, though I couldn't remember everything, I still felt a sense of familiar. But here, I don't have that feeling. Perhaps I did come here in the past, but it just didn't leave a strong impression on me.
Did the stories get it wrong then? Yeah, that's true. Paimon was hoping this place would jog Granny.
I'm sorry to disappoint you too.
It's alright. We're not going to give up yet. We'll figure something else out. Just you wait.
Thank you. If only I could remember. Huh? That way. What's that mountain?
Outside? Looks like we've come full circle.
Mount Outsong. Mount Outsong.
Granny, are you okay? Don't push yourself, Granny. It's okay if you can't
Mount Outsong,
Mount Outsong holds some familiarity to you?
It does, but
Are you feeling unwell?
my head, it feels all heavy.
Воспоминания, наверное, сейчас нахлынут.
Miss Sянь Юнь, is there anything you can do?
Let us go to Mount Outsong.
But
Fret not, all will be well. You may leave the rest to me. I've prepared something that can aid you in suppressing the fear in your heart.
wait, really? When did you do that?
I never leave anything to chance. All will reveal itself when we arrive.
Она ведь специально так говорит, чтобы мы пришли. Бабушка все вспомнила. И такая, это была шутка. На самом деле я никакое устройство не создавала. Это все психология. Наверняка так и будет. А может и правда там какое-то устройство. Ну-ка, что мы тут чай будем пить?
Here, this is it.
Все-таки есть устройство.
But isn't this the mechanism that you were tinkering with when we first...
Precisely. A recent one at that. I am most pleased with the result. It periodically releases a soft breeze, which when paired with a gentle adeptal tune, can help the listener soothing agitation and anxiety, relieving exhaustion and insomnia, its potential use.
What a cool gadget! But we could have come to Mount Outside right off the bat, same time on...
How preposterous. Had you and I not recalled much of her past, we Adepti can only help those who first resolve to help themselves. Had she...
Paimon thinks she gets it now.
As previously mentioned, a gentle adeptal tune is required to take full advantage of the mechanism.
Oh, Paimon can feel what you mean.
And you and I, is the mechanism helping you to relax? It appears she has already succumbed to the
Ну-ка, нам покажут что-нибудь.
The drought is over. Then why do you look like you want to cry?
Это ее муж?
The potion. It's nearly run its course.
I've never regretted meeting you. Even for a second.
Please. Please,
Грустненько.
have you forgotten? This is the world you left behind. One of gentle breeze and morning. This is your home. This is where you belong. You should have never left. The you of the past. The me from not that long ago. So that is the truth. No wonder this place is so familiar.
Granny! Are you okay?
Cloud Retainer.
Your memories have returned.
Wait, did you just call her by her full name? You already knew each other?
Yes. Granny, please don't cry. Don't worry, my dear child. I'm so sorry, everyone. It's all come back to me now.
One can sense the guilt that now plagues your conscience.
No, it's okay. Now that I show you, everyone, I cannot thank you enough for...
Please,
Конечно, рассказывай.
force yourself.
Мы
What
ждем
happened in
этого.
the past doesn't...
I know, dear child. My feelings for you are exactly the same. Some time ago, I made a terrible mistake.
Is this the sin that you mentioned in Joyun?
I am, in truth, not a human being. My real form. I spent many, many years living on Mount Outsong, bathing in the soft breeze and drinking the sweet dew of the mountains. Though she never took me on as a formal disciple, I always saw her. I even contemplated completing my training and becoming an adeptus in
50 years ago?
That's right. Master regaled me with many stories. She was the one I looked up to the most. More than anything, I dreamt of becoming. I was still far from being a real adeptus. I possessed no ability to take on human form. She warned me that the potion's effects would only last 10 years. And if I were to fail to return to my original form at the end of that time...
Ого.
Oh no. So that was the source of...
Was because of... Indeed, I fell in love. Though he was human, he had spent... Although clumsy and impulsive as he was, you'd think he was the real strange bird among the two of us. But still, just like me, he cared deeply. I could not help but fall for him. But my time continued to tick away.
No. What happened next?
I committed an offense. I wanted to stay with him, even if it meant living a life full of pain. I knew I had betrayed Master's hopes, but I was too ashamed to face her. I was convinced that she would not support my decision, and I lacked the courage to speak to her face to face. But that was only the beginning of my troubles. I began to suffer from a strange illness, along with my memories as a crane. I soon forgot the true cause of my suffering as well. Looking back, I was beyond lucky to have come across that traveling merchant at Wangshu Inn. It was such a...
Granny!
What a coincidence. Why did I ever think it was a coincidence, Master? Don't tell me...
Human custom would dictate the conferral of gifts to be in order once progeny is wedded. Not.
So when I tried to conceal my name and
One still remembers when you were but a fledgling. One found you with such ease every time. Just...
Wait! Paimon's confused! So, Cloud Retainer, you found you and I again? But how?
Perhaps it is now time.
Блин, какая она красивая все-таки. Вот этот хвостик двухцветный вообще.
One was furious upon receiving your letter. Seized with anger, one set out to bring you to your senses.
О, спасибо. На лодке будем плыть?
Truth, one had more than a few misgivings about your chosen partner. As an exorcist, but soon, one came to appreciate the devotion he bestowed upon you during your illness. Never uttered a complaint, rarely left your... Unwilling to begrudge someone of such character, wishing to grant you a life without regrets. One gathered many divine ingredients, and used one's own blood to create a form. As for how to deliver the medicine, one took great care to alter one's features, and select the appropriate attire. Only after meticulous one expected, for most ignorant, one was quite torn. Should one have...
Все все-таки не поплывем. Эх. Ой. Точно, надо же подлететь. Она же умеет летать. Как красиво у нее кофточка, накидка переливается, когда он бежит. Нет мостика. Ну ладно, полетели.
Nevertheless, one would speak to you about another matter, if you are amenable, even considering your loss of memory. One was simply flabbergasted that you could so easily forget the consequences of consuming medicine infused with adeptal blood. Its proclivity to attract monsters is hardly that complicated of a concept to remember. To think that you tried to travel while weak from sickness and heavy with child. Had one not intervened to clear the fog, all of you would have been lost during the night. Seize the skies!
Да сколько можно?
Make way for the adeptus! Those monsters would hardly have pursued you with such ferocity. Said godly remains. One was, after all, an active participant in the Archon War. In the end, one was relieved to see you endure through the night. The breakup to see you happy. Now you should have a complete understanding of the events.
О, можно было не подлетать.
The Green who took care of me when I was sick must also be...
Ah, one had almost neglected to recount the absurdities of that tale.
Блин, такой классный переход из локации в локацию.
Just as you and I troubled one with her antics, so upon finding you burning with fever, when one asked you why, apparently one had no choice but to apply powder to one's body to conceal the variegated nature of one's appearance. It bears mentioning, however, that as a crane, you and I was nearly entirely pure white in color. Perhaps fate brought you...
Это все объясняет.
Now all has been revealed. One owes you an apology, you and I. One has always viewed you as a disciple of equal standing. Still, one could not reveal your identity right away. Memories are most meaningful when recalled by those who live through them.
Master, I must ask. If you found me all those years ago...
One has never regarded your action as when it is time for one's progeny to leave the nest. It is the responsibility of an elder to let them fly free. 'Tis a refuge referred to by many a name in mortal writing. Home, nest, haven. One speaks, of course, of a place not unlike one's own.
Thank you.
You end up. One expects you too have sensed the rapid deterioration of your condition as of late. 40 years ago, you chose a path without a future. No one you... Even the power of an adeptus has its limits. Had your Fortunately, you were able to avoid that scenario by reclaiming your memories.
So, what's gonna happen to Grace?
One will help her reclaim her original form as a wild...
She's gotta go back to being a regular... Master, you've already done more than enough. I don't know how I could possibly repay your kindness.
Not long.
Granny? Please don't leave, okay? You're all I... Don't be sad, dear child. Granny has led a wonder... Don't forget to eat well, okay? A growing young lady like yourself needs lots of good... I promise, Granny. Good girl. Good girl. Don't worry. It's not goodbye forever. I won't stop until I can turn into a human without having to rely on anything but my own power. Good. That's a good girl. Even though we won't see each other for a little while, as long as we both... I'll eat well, Granny. I promise. And I'll wait for you. That's a good girl. Then
Они ведь никогда не
I'm so
встретятся.
sorry, Master. You.
Let her be. At her age, cry. Tears are a necessary part of maturation. Sometimes there is scarcely a better vehicle now that the issue has been resolved. You should also take a moment to relax. Give yourself some time to rest. Take a nap if you must.
А мы что-нибудь вспомним, интересно? Блин, было бы неплохо, если бы мы тоже что-нибудь вспомнили из прошлого. Ой, какая милота. Я прям чувствую вот этот вот приятный ветерок. Это сон? Братик?
I always believed we would see each other again, that our days of separation would finally end, and all my troubles would be behind me. If only things could stay this way forever.
A nightmare. curious. If you're relaxed, shouldn't your dreams be pleasant?
It was a good dream. It's just...
You weren't ready to wake up.
Что, Белоснежка?
Eloquent as one may be, words of comfort are not one's strong suit. You are doing all you can. One can see your strength of will, your fearlessness in the face of danger. And so, whatever your dream may be, one believes that you shall achieve it. Of course, whenever the perils you face overwhelm you, or you become weary, one is always here for you. After all, as an elder, it is only right to look out for the young ones.
Какая она заботливая, я же заплакала.
Chicken drumsticks. Was Paimon sleeping just now? Oh, Paimon wasn't talking to you. Paimon had a dream about eating... Madam Adeptus? Oh, Shiryu, you're awake. How do you feel? I feel a little better. Madam Adeptus? Can I, ask you something?
Oh. And have you reasons for this sudden...
I know Granny thought what she did back then was wrong, but without that, even though Granny lost her memories, she never forgot to show me how I could become a cool Adeptus like you, and help a whole bunch...
Upon some reflection, one supposes you are no mere
Thank you so much, Madam Adeptus! No, I mean... Shiryu, are you sure about this?
Будущий адепт.
Paimon's gonna let you in on a little
Как мило.
secret. We've seen Cloud Retainer's 2 other disciples, and they pretty much eat nothing. If you join them, you'll never enjoy One Min Restaurant's delicious cooking ever again.
How utterly preposterous. One has every individual must find their own path to enlightenment. So long as one retains...
Well, you say that, but Paimon's not seeing any tasty treats up here now, is she?
Although Mount Outsong is rich in natural beauty, its location does preclude... That is precisely why one plans to relocate to Liyue Harbor.
Whoa! You're leaving Mount Outsong?
One has
Ничего
never
себе.
concerned oneself with the location of one's... Yet in the end, all of one's disciples ended up in Liyue. One has reflected on this fact for many years now. One can only assume that one is most curious as to what aspect of Liyue Harbor could have enticed them to remain there. Why are you all so silent?
Paimon is... just a bit shocked, that's all.
One has precious little time to squander. However, if one finds oneself, one will be assuming the identity of a human while residing in Liyue Harbor.
Don't worry, we'll help you keep it a
Да ты
secret.
самая первая расскажешь всем.
So, when can we expect to start seeing you in the city?
Perhaps in 2 days' time. One has some matters to see to before one's departure. Preparation is the key to success. One has already picked out a handsome property near Chuhu Rock. It is no small purchase, but...
Seems like you've really thought of everything. Then how about we meet up at Liyue Harbor and keep...
A sensible plan. See you... Oh, also, why don't you take this suspense insomnia mechanism as a souvenir? Anytime...
Thanks, Cloud Retainer!
О, это можно будет в doме поставить.
Tell her what we found out? Should we make a trip to the Beijing Commerce Guild? It's totally up to you.
2 дня. Раз. 2. Там, наверное, определенное время надо будет выставить. Ну-ка.
Leaves around. I know just the tune to accompany them.
Your concerns are excessive and unfounded.
To be quite honest, in what way are any of these ordinary? Every single item here could be worth more than everything I own combined. I have to be careful.
Miss Sянь Yun?
Ah, perfect timing. This ignoramus is questioning the authenticity. I'll have you know, these items have remained untouched.
Several hundred years?
Indeed. They're family heirlooms, you see. Hear that? Had I not found myself in need of Mora, I would scarcely have had... doubt their authenticity any further, and I may just...
Whoa! Please don't go! I apologize for any insult, miss. You see, I know full well that I lack the knowledge...
An expert, you say? Very well. I will wait for a little while longer. Traveler, Paimon.
Master! Oh, it's you two again. Hello. Mm-hmm. Master made it for me. I like it too.
Милота. Ей очень идет.
You know how to make clothes?
Do I know how to make clothes? With the support of the proper mechanisms.
Master, I brought in most of my stuff. There's a few boxes left, but they're...
Fret not. I shall help you move them into your room.
Actually, I should probably sort through my stuff a bit first. Everything is kind of...
It appears my young apprentice has her own fair... Now, this expert you mentioned.
Soon. Here, allow me to make some introductions. This is Mr. Zhang Li, a well-respected consultant at Mr. Zhang Li,
Неожиданная
this
встреча.
is Miss Shen Yun. She's the one who's looking to sell the collection of valuable...
If it isn't Miss Shen Yun.
Indeed, most serendipitous.
Quite well, thank you. I was fortunate enough over the past few days to enjoy both a stroll in the mountains and a fresh brew of tea.
So you two are...
Indeed. How fortunate we are that fate has brought us together again. If you are otherwise unaware, allow me to...
You are too kind, Mr. Zhangli. True collectors pride themselves on their wealth of knowledge and eye for detail. I can say without a doubt...
Why, you flatter me, Miss Shen Yun. It would seem...
Not at all, Mr. Zhangli. Not at all.
While I am loath to butt into this conversation, you two already knew each other, and you...
A preposterous accusation! The heavens themselves...
Miss Shen Yun speaks the truth. Contracts are built on honesty and trust. If that...
Say no more. Let us depart.
I jest! What fool would still harp... I deeply apologize for doubting you. So,
There is no cause for concern. They are indeed rare and precious valuables. Take this mechanism, for instance. The same can be said for this one here. You could hope to possess... I am sure you have heard from your travels that the study of mechanisms is among the most wondrous arts in the...
all right. Since I hired you as my then in that case, Miss Shen Yun, I'll take the lot. However, since the final sum is...
The Northland Bank? Oh, you refer to the...
I fear people only use the term bank nowadays. In that case, I'll be off for now.
My friends, have you been doing well?
We've been great. How about you? I didn't know you were such a busy consultant.
My days have been quite pleasant as well. I had been quietly enjoying a cup of tea. As for you, Miss Shen Yun...
I must say, the name Shen Yun sounds exceedingly strange.
Whatever for. Am I not addressing you as a friend should?
Well, that is true. Alas, refer to me however you will. After all, a name exists.
It would seem that you have gained many valuable insights over the years.
One has indeed. One's previous days were all brief. Now that one has made up one's mind to move and settle, one has gained a much better... This city is much changed from how it was more than 1,000 years ago.
Not unlike the ocean tides, so too shall the movement of people ebb and flow. Turmoil to peace, enlightenment to aspiration.
Alright, that's enough reflection for one day. No need to get all sent.
You make a valid point, Paimon. Now that the sale has concluded, what say one plays the host as we try some specialty dishes together?
Perhaps you have forgotten, Cloud Retainer, but I once tried my hand at that dish.
Oh? What occasion was this?
It was a reunion between friends several centuries ago. Alas, you must have been too preoccupied to secure yourself a portion.
Huh, hardly. 'Twas most certainly out of consideration for the others in attendance. In but a moment, one will show you what it means to have a true deftness of hand. It is settled then. Bamboo shoot soup, mora meat, crab roe tofu, triple layered One has already passed word to Shenhe and Ganyu to make a reservation. It is prime time for...
It should be a most splendid occasion.
Shu Yu, come now, it is time to dine. Ah, this gentleman over here is Mr. Zhang Li.
A humble employee of Wangsheng Funeral Parlor.
Nice to meet you too, Mr. Zhengli. That should be everyone, right? Let's go! Sounds good. Actually, Master, have you ever tried Adeptus' temptation? I heard it's impossible to stop eating after even...
Ура, мы идем
That sounds
кушать.
rather implausible. Although with the right prepper...
Why are you all walking so fast? Hey, wait for Paimon!
Как же так, без Паймон пошли кушать? Отлично. Наверное, за это время выполнили задание. Да? Угу.
Wherever in this world I roam, I carry memories of my home. Display.
Ad Astra. Thank you for
И надо экспедиции
Ad Astra.
забрать. О, 7-дневная награда. Новый босс. Угу. Ну, давайте чуть-чуть помолимся и пойдем новую территорию открывать. Тут, наверное, как до Китая. В прямом смысле слова, как до Китая. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55. 55 круток. А, нет, может быть, я еще и выбью ее. Будет замечательно. Так. Нам надо вот сюда куда-то, да? Угу. А, нет, вот ближайшая. Почему тут опять это какой-то лаг или что? Почему тут снова точка телепортации открыта?